Hello, I'm Brooks,
I'm Joe.
and this is another episode of Cantina Reviews.
Today we have another classic review. It's The Empire Strikes Back.
So much like we did with A New Hope, we are now talking about The Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
I think we both rated it as our favorite Star Wars movie.
It is, in fact, my favorite Star Wars.
Yes, I would say purely because it's established and we're moving along.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We don't have an intro type of thing or anything like that. It's like we're in the action.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
We are on Hoth.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, it is a perfectly structured movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's not a bad moment or anything like that.
No, and I feel like there's no real down part. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's no real rest,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's not super bang, bang, bang.
Right. Starts off with Hoth, which is just so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Great battle scene to open up the movie.
Exactly.
You kind of, like you said, like everyone's established, we could just go.
Mm-hmm.
But they do a good job of quickly reestablishing the characters.
Right, we're establishing who they are, what they feel about each other,
Right.
things like that.
Exactly. You know, like Han's got his debt with Jabba, he's got to go.
Yep.
You know, him and Leia, some tension, sexual tension. You know, you get Luke and Ben talking to him using the Force, go to Dagobah, that kind of stuff. You set it up very quickly.
Yeah.
Hoth happens, and then even like the rising action of the film, where they're kind of split, Han and Leia and the droids and Chewie escaping the Empire, and Luke being trained by Yoda. Where this could be a slower part of like a natural storyline,
Right.
it's still very interesting and fun to watch.
Yeah, there's no part where you're like, oh, can we keep going? You know what I mean? It's always progressing.
Right.
You never hit a lull, you know what I mean? Even with the Dagobah stuff, whether that's the more not interesting parts or not, it still moves.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because like, I mean, the stuff with Yoda is great when he's first like messing with Luke.
Yeah.
That's just so fun. And then, you know, realizing he's the Jedi Master, learning these interesting tidbits about the Force.
Right.
You have the stuff with like Luke confronting Vader in that little cave thing. Stuff like that is just all really good.
It's good quality stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of like how you see more of Vader.
Oh.
You see more of him and like who he is and why he is more feared than we were once kind of shown. Like, oh, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's like now you can see his battle prowess, how he handles himself.
A New Hope, he is very much just like a guy that like the Emperor's enforcer, I guess.
Yeah.
He's not in A New Hope. He's not in A New Hope all that much.
Right.
Takes a much more prominent role in this movie. What I think is kind of cool, like the new canon filling in the gaps of 4 and 5,
Right.
and how like Vader has been on the hunt for the pilot that destroyed the Death Star.
Yeah, it kind of gives a new meaning to him and Empire Strikes
Right.
Back.
Like when they get to Hoth and they have them.
Right.
You know, that's how like dire the situation is.
Right, yeah. It's not just like, oh wow, he found him.
Yeah.
It's like now with the new canon, we're shown how the task that it was to find him, and finally they found him.
Yeah.
Once again, just a good-looking movie, just because it was real.
Yeah.
You know
Everything.
what I mean?
You know, as far as like the AT-AT walkers.
Exactly.
You know, shooting on these
The
great.
Wampa.
Right. Yeah. Shooting on these like fantastic landscapes, and then adding like the models they use and stuff like that to give it a very good look.
Yeah, it wasn't like CGI snow.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
CGI snowflake by snowflake.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then the movie just perfectly builds because everyone's they're split in two camps for most of the movie. Luke and Yoda, and then Han and Leia and everyone, and Han and Leia get to. I was gonna say Canto Bight. Han and Leia get to Cloud City, meet Lando and everything. It's kind of shady.
They go to Canto Bight.
Yeah, they go to Canto Bight.
Wow, they did kind of take that, didn't they?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't realize that.
But like everyone converging in on that point for the big climax. Everyone's now there.
Right.
It just
Everybody
feels
came
like the
back
stakes
together.
are so high.
Exactly.
Like when they realized that Lando kind of double crossed them. Of course he kind of had to.
Right.
But
yeah, he was kind of stuck, if you will.
When the door opens and there's Vader, it's just so awesome. And then Luke rushes away there.
Well, yeah, just because you had no idea.
Right. Yeah.
Like you didn't really expect that at all.
Right.
And then next thing you know, he's right there.
Yeah, that was awesome. Any question about Han shooting first? He sees Darth Vader and just.
Yeah.
But Luke going there, very cool. And it just ends with such a great. The fight between Luke and Vader. We've been building 2 movies to this, and then the escape as far as the other.
Exactly.
Oh,
his hand.
We kind of skipped over Han being frozen. Again, just like such a emotional scene.
Yeah, I think it definitely was very good at being a true cliffhanger for the next movie.
Oh yeah.
Like Han's frozen. How are we gonna get him?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like that was definitely it was a good way to segue into the next one.
Right. And just think about like you have two of like the biggest movie moments of all time, pretty much back to back. Han being frozen, you know, I love you, I know, iconic line, and then Vader revealing that he's Luke's father.
Right.
Which, like we were talking about in A New Hope, imagine being someone seeing A New Hope for the first time in theaters.
Yeah.
So it's like imagine in theaters Vader revealing he's Luke's father.
I know. Like you would have never known the precursor or anything like that.
Because like that's the thing, like anyone nowadays. I mean, I didn't. Like I was a little kid, but I feel like for the most part, people watching Star Wars already know that.
Right.
You know, it's like and like you kind of have to remember that it was one of the bigger movie twists ever.
Right, but like that's what I'm saying. Like imagine like at our age now seeing that,
Right.
where we can understand truly what's
Like the
happening.
gravity of it.
Exactly. Like not knowing that, and it's like, oh my god,
Right.
it's his dad.
Yeah. And there's just some cool stuff. Even when Luke is sneaking around, I saw something recently. Someone put up a video or something. When Luke is like sneaking around and you see Boba Fett walking by, I never really noticed it, but like you're kind of more focused on Luke as you see Boba walk by down the hall. But right before he gets out of shot, he turns his head real quick. He knows Luke is there.
Really?
And then that's how he gets behind him eventually.
Ah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Little stuff like that.
Little things.
Yeah. And then, yeah, just overall, it's awesome.
Yeah, I just think it's a good movie because of, I don't know, there's not a lot truly happening. It's like, we're on Hoth, Dagobah, Cloud City.
Yeah.
We're in 3 places in the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like that definitely helps kind of keep you centered on what's going on.
There's no fat.
Right.
It's like a streamlined story. Like,
Where
this
from
is what's
Hoth
happening.
to Dagobah, and then we're with the space slug and everything.
Yeah.
And then we're at Cloud City.
Right, and it all converges on one point.
Right.
You know, where you have like 2 separate scenes going on, but it's all there.
Yeah, it's still, this is what's happening with both parties.
Right.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, not that it was a bad thing, but I feel like in Last Jedi it was like, we're at a bunch of different places.
happens in Last Jedi.
Yeah, we're all over.
You're
We're
constantly in 4 different stories.
Exactly.
Now, yeah, they converge on Crate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it doesn't...
It's getting to
quite,
there.
I felt, I had that feeling like, ooh, this is it. Like, when they all actually end up on Snoke's ship.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that more than when they all ended up on Crate.
Right.
And it's not even everyone on Snoke's ship, but I just had like an excited feeling when like we know like Rey is there and Finn is there and Kylo's there and Snoke is there.
Everybody is in the area.
Right. And yeah, The Last Jedi is much more scattered than this. Like everything is just working in tandem perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just definitely all around a good movie. Mm-hmm. You know, iconic scenes, iconic lines.
Yeah. I mean, I would call it my favorite movie ever.
As would I.
Yeah.
I'd say it's in the top.
Yeah.
Definitely in the top. I don't know what my favorite movie is,
right,
but this is definitely in the running for it. Because it was kind of shitty.
Because it sucks.
Because it actually sucks.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, we talked about music in A New Hope, that review, so yeah, here's where we are introduced to the Imperial March and stuff like that. So, I mean, again, another, you know, you can't say enough about how great John Williams is, but having already established such an amazing score, he was able to build on it.
Yeah,
and now the second movie making another iconic score that everyone knows.
Right. Well, yeah, the Imperial March you hear constantly,
yeah.
I feel. You know what I mean? Whether you're looking at Star Wars stuff or not, I feel like people just use it for anything. Right. You can instantly just think, oh, well, that's that. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely check out some more of these.
If you haven't seen Empire Strikes Back,
yeah,
we highly recommend.
If you're watching this channel, chances are you've seen it.
I would think so.
Yes. So check out the A New Hope one that we have up. Definitely look that one up, and then Return of the Jedi is on its way.
Yeah, it'll be on its way at some point or another. We're kind of spacing these out.
Yeah.
We plan on doing the prequels.
Yes.
The Force Awakens didn't really get a proper review from us.
Yeah, definitely check them out. Check us out.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Ooh. So once again, I'm Brooks.
I'm Joe.
And this has been another episode of Cantina Reviews. Cut. That's a wrap.
Today we're talking about. Today we have another classic review for you. It's the.
It's the